they're saying that a lot of people are leaving America to go to Mexico for healthcare and lower prescription medicine, lower procedures. But let's just go ahead and dive right into it and see what they're really saying about it. Oh, I know MAGA is mad now.
So millions of Americans are now moving to Mexico after this. So the Mexico's president has decided to roll out universal health care for all Mexicans. So now around 130 million citizens will begin to enjoy free health care for next year. That's literally half of American citizens, right? So why can't we have it? That's insane, but check this out. If she keeps this up, she might have to build a wall to keep the Americans out. Now that is insane, and the fact that we even have that on our minds, like that could be a possibility, is just so telling that that's insane that they have better benefits than us. See, now Americans are going to go to be illegals in Mexico. So now it's gonna basically reverse. So yeah, guys, what do y'all think about this in the comments? That's actually insane. And people are
definitely go check out, go through my videos and check out the latest Mexico versus MAGA video that we released to kind of talk about what's going on in Mexico and how they plan to roll out their universal healthcare. Now, Mexico's always had some sort of form of free healthcare or it just cheaper clinic fees and all kind of other things. But I can see why people would say, hey, look, if I can just be a resident, I can go and get help with cancer treatments, dental work, and we'll get into that into this next few clips that you'll see that a lady is getting a lot of backlash for choosing to go to Mexico for dental work. Let's go ahead, keep watching and jump into it.
Just pointing out, Americans seeing both Canada and Mexico get free healthcare literally above and below, and we're literally supposed to be like the top country or whatever, and we don't have it, which is insane. But yeah, anyways, what do y'all think?
You can have it. You can have the whole damn thing, the whole damn country. You and friggin' Trump, the whole administration can go to hell. I've had enough of you guys. You know, all I ever do is come in and ask questions. And you guys are just as mean as snakes, man. As mean as you can friggin' be. We've had enough. My wife and I are selling our place. And we're moving. We're gonna friggin' move to Mexico, man. I'm so tired of you guys. My wife is in the house right now, bawling her friggin' eyes out because of you guys. What the hell's the matter with you? Where's your humanity?
How my son was doing, and I was also met with the, oh, he is so smart, he belongs to the United States. Half of my family are MAGA, and I moved to Mexico after my fiance was deported, so let's get it. One of the questions that I get asked the most is how my family reacted to me moving to Mexico. My mom and my stepdad were very supportive of me. The rest of my family were not. My mom and stepdad are the only ones that aren't MAGA. When I told everyone that I was going to be moving to Mexico to follow my fiance, I was met with a lot of comments like, oh, you're not going to be able to flush your toilet. You're going to be living in a hut. And I am sure that you can imagine all of the other stuff that was said. I tried really hard to maintain a relationship with them, even though we had our differences in belief. I asked for a family recipe, and I was met with a, when you move back to the United States, you can have it. Having to move to Mexico at the ripe age of 20 years old was really hard as it. So not being supported by my family, honestly, really put a toll on my mental health, especially when I was postpartum with my youngest daughter because I had her here.
I can only imagine how hard it is. Your fiance gets deported. Hey, it's been happening. We know about those. And you choose to go follow your love back to another country. At this point, you're not in a bad shape. All right. If you do it the right way, you'll be getting free healthcare. Things will be cheaper. If you work online and maybe get an online job, if there's some sort of way, shape, or form, you can get paid from the United States and have that dollar, get paid in US dollars. Maybe you get a little bit of push on the pesos. You get what I'm saying? But the comments on not being able to flush your toilets, living in huts, that's crazy and out of line, man. I don't think that I'm pretty sure there's places like that in Mexico, don't get me wrong, but there's several places where you can go and get nice living, a house, an apartment, those sort of things. It's not just huts after huts after huts. People are just trying to deter you from leaving.
What a beautiful morning. So grateful that Trump got in office. Life is going to be so much easier again.
A few moments later.
So I just got the quote from the dentist in Mexico I've been looking to go see because, no offense to my current dentist in the United States, I love him. He does a really great job, and I wish I could go to him. I just can't afford dental care in the United States.
own the libs. Are you winning yet? No, because you played yourself. These are the females who lack the spine and the courage to step into a private voting booth and vote to safeguard their own rights as women. They're so weak that they actively participate in their own downfall, allowing men to use them as tools to strip away their own rights and help strip away the rights of us all as women. This is what happens when you're gullible enough to fall for the conservative patriarchal illusion of a traditional family, where the man is supposed to be the leader, but in reality, that so-called provider is a failure, leaving you, his wife, so financially helpless that you are forced to rely on the very people that y'all demonize and cheer to be deported just to survive. Now look at you crossing the border into Mexico. Yes, the same Mexico you clutch your pearls over just to be able to afford health care. You're out here bragging about voting for Trump, yet you can't even afford to put America first under Trump. You're out here fighting for white supremacy, but white supremacy ain't fighting for you. Make it make sense. And the best part, this is just a warm-up, so buckle up because the real struggle hasn't even started yet.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think taking a video of myself talking about going to Mexico for dental work was going to cause people to give me death threats and threaten me in my messages.
I'm seeing a lot of these.
Wow. Yes, you started off as a big old supporter. Well, what happened with that? Put America first. Make America great again. I get it. I stand for it. But you just gave props to your dentist, but you're choosing to go to Mexico and support them. You're literally a hypocrite. Okay, like whatever you're doing, you understand what you're doing, but for you to save dollars, you'd rather go somewhere else. So you just sound crazy. That's why you're getting threats. That's why people are probably DMing you, telling you do not come to Mexico. That's probably why you're getting people that say if you go to Mexico, you're a traitor. Okay, those sort of things, because you made it loud and clear what you stood for. But when it came down to your pockets, you stood for something different. And it's a game that you play, and yeah, that's why you got a lot of backlash.
Videos pop up about Mexican people not wanting MAGA to visit their country, especially their vacation spots like Cancun and Cabo. Let's listen to this gentleman's message to MAGA to stay out of his country.
Are you a MAGA follower? Please do not come to Mexico.
Please not come.
Cancun, do not come to Puerto Vallarta or Acapulco. Stay in the United States. Eat your Taco Bells.
MAGA, why do you want to go to a country where the people don't want you? I had a similar experience like this in Cancun, Mexico. I was basically just sitting in the pool, minding my own business, and what do I see? Some stupid lady wearing a MAGA hat in Cancun. Of course, the only thing that came to my mind was, if you hate this country so much, Mexico, and you hate the people of Mexico so much, why are you here? Why are you swimming in their pool?
So I moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico because I couldn't afford my life where I'm from, which is Orlando, Florida. And I've been very open about that. I've been posting about that on my TikTok. I've been commenting on Facebook about that. And part of the reason that they even rolled out this program, which is the free childcare for all income levels, is to attract families to New Mexico. Right. And for some reason, people have such a problem with the fact that I came from a different state to New Mexico to essentially seek refuge because I literally could not afford my life. And people are saying that it's about the fact that I couldn't budget. How are you gonna budget when my income is less than $50,000 a year and my rent is more than half of that? My rent, and I didn't live in a luxury space. You can't budget out of the fact that you can't afford to live on what was a decent salary. This is not just a me problem. Almost everyone I know back in Orlando that's working a typical job that doesn't, have college degrees and isn't working, making over 6 figures a year is in this same position. I'm just lucky enough that I was able to pick up and leave. And their argument for why I shouldn't have come here is because their tax dollars, they don't want their tax dollars to pay for my child to be in daycare. I'm paying taxes as well in New Mexico. I'm paying local and state taxes in New Mexico, and my salary is actually from out of state because I work remotely. I also find it very interesting that you would rather your tax dollars fund the unaliving of innocent children in Gaza, as well as making sure that Israel has free healthcare, free childcare, etc., and also making sure that billionaires get to take advantage of their tax breaks and pay less taxes than we do on $50,000 a year.
Look, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to take care of your family. Like, I can care less about what a MAGA believes or thinks of me, man. When you have to go somewhere to afford life, this is still in America, and they still giving you a hard time. New Mexico is still in America, and they're still giving you a hard time just because you have to move, just because things are changing, just because your expenses are rising. Like, things happen, but they shouldn't give you a hard time. They're not paying your bills. They're not living their life. Make it make sense.
You people are truly concerning. Like, the somersaults you have to do in your brain to make things like add up, wild.
Here's what Mexico is doing when you show up as MAGA supporters, and while other countries are likely to follow. I'm a global strategist working with boots on the ground. Political visibility abroad is not without consequences. Mexico is already putting MAGA travelers on blast. Ooh. Now, if you're serious about relocation and you want real strategy, not political drama, join me at the final briefing on August 24th. Link in bio to register. Man, Mexico is cracking down on travelers who show up as MAGA. If they see MAGA tattoos, luggage, or American flags on luggage, or if they see you open up your phone to Fox News, immigration officers will pull you aside and actually detain you. Damn. These officers are watching, and if you stand out, you'll be pulled aside for real. They are singling these folks out. They are singling MAGA at the airport. And let me tell you something. They are charging an additional $40 tax per person just for being politically visible. Wow. And if you're traveling with a group, that adds up fast. And see, you're going to also miss your flight because of the immigration holds. No easy rebooking. Airlines have limited staff and strict rules. You will not get a boarding pass without proper clearance. This isn't just about fees. It's political targeting. And it's spreading. Other countries are watching and ready to do the same. If you want to relocate globally and you can't bring your political noise with you, you need respect, strategy, and a plan that keeps you moving.
I can only imagine, bro. You showing up, MAGA this, up in Mexico. Them boys is not playing around. Not playing around. Now, what has happened before in the past is that sometimes you travel, sometimes you have a political shirt on, these sort of things on, like even the American flag. You heard her say it. Just wearing that, the colors would get you pointed out, would get you signaled out. Isn't that crazy? When normally we could have done that before, maybe 5-10 years ago. All right, maybe 2 years ago. All right, it wasn't that bad. You can still pop up with a flag shirt. It might be all right in Mexico. But right now, they're just thinking you a Huawei pro MAGA. All right, they're holding you. They're teaching you a little bit of a lesson. It could be innocent Americans just sitting there just trying to sip pina coladas and enjoy the beach. But because of everything that's going on, even the people that are just trying to have fun is paying the ultimate price. Make that make sense. But I do appreciate you watching today's video. And without further ado, please like, hype, comment on the video. Comment where you're watching from. Comment if you've been to Mexico, if you plan on going to Mexico. And then subscribe if you haven't for more great content. I'll see you on the next video.